You here?
That actually. Good.
There you go. Are you not spotlight yet? Good. Yeah, I think it's nice. We can see everyone.
Go.
Chris, welcome. Welcome, everybody.
Hey.
Let's take it's 8:04. I think that we may
We'll start.
open sacred space.
Let's open sacred
Let's
space.
open sacred space, and that will give us another couple minutes for people that are rolling in. They'll come in directly in sacredness, and I think it's very much all about even what we're talking about today. The warrior shield is creating that sacred space around you, and is becoming aware of it. So take a moment, find a comfortable seat, perhaps planting both feet on the ground, or if you're in a lotus, feel your pelvic bowl, feel your sits bones rather pressing down. Inviting your navel in, lift your rib cage, tuck your chin back, lengthen through the crown, and allow for a moment for the tip of your tongue to be in your upper palate, and a gentle smile at the edges of your mouth. And as you inhale, feel it's almost saying the mantra, I am here, or I am, Sat Nam. To the winds of the south, Amaru, great serpent, Hampue Amaru, Hampue Veronica. Be here with a serpent, teach us how to shed our skin and let go of the past. Allow us to learn today how we can let go of anything that's holding on to us, how we can return it to Mother Earth. Teach us, Sachamama Serpent, how we can feel grounded like you do, always belly to Mother Earth. Horpichai.
Horpichai.
Hampue Hatumichi, Hampue Torongo, Hampue Torongo, Hampue Wilkatika. Come west, come. Otorongo, great jaguar, teach us the way of no fear in this world. Allow us to pace with the sweetness, with the beauty that you pace. Allow us to have the power that you have. Allow us to have the clarity and stability of mind. Be here, Otorongo. Awaken us. Horpichai.
Horpichai.
To the winds of the north. Hampue Colimbri, Hampue Colimbri. Come, welcome, beautiful hummingbird. Bring your sweetness. Allow our solar plexus, come and flutter in front of our solar plexus to fill our solar plexus with sweetness, with nectar, so we don't have any bitterness in life. Be here and maybe circle around us. Make it sacred space, make it safe space. Connect us with the ancestors. Connect us with the power of the ancestors. Thank you, Colimbri, for bringing your sweetness. Horpichai.
Horpichai.
Hampue Condora, Hampue, welcome Condor. Be here with us, Condor. Allow us to spiral upward, to rise above and see the greater picture of our life. Allow us to know how to do that, to be able to rise above in discernment, in clarity, to feel the wind of freedom, to feel that we're connected with the divine, as you are always connected, wing to wing with the Great Spirit. And just feeling the earth under your feet, or your sits bones rooting in your seat. Santa Terra Pachamama, Dulce Mamita, sweet Mother Earth, thank you. Thank you for all your gifts. Thank you for giving us the elements to create a body. Thank you for giving us the nourishment to sustain our body. Thank you for giving us a home to return our body when we leave. Mother Earth, thank you for all your gifts, your mountains, your seas, your valleys, your forests. Thank you for your flowers, your vegetables, your fruits. Thank you for giving a home and life to everything that we are. We bow to you as a mother. Allow us and help us together in these gatherings to be able to become more aware and begin to reverse the damage we've done. Allow us to awaken in reverence and awaken in walking on you gently and lovingly. Horpichai, rising above. Intitaita Mamaquilla. Thank you, Father Son, for being here. Thank you for giving us the day, the beautiful daylight. Thank you for giving us the prana that gives us all life force. Thank you for giving us the flames to burn old contracts. May through our work today, may we burn old contracts that hold us back in any way. And Mama Kila, sweet mother, grandmother Earth, grandmother Moon, thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the quality of reflecting. Thank you for reminding us the beauty of the feminine, the wisdom of the grandmother. Be here with us. Horpichai. And inviting both hands to your heart in Anjali Mudra, bowing chin to heart. Just take a moment and tap your heart to practically invite that energy here, allowing for everything that's human to rise to your heart, everything that is divine to download to your heart. And bow your chin and say, thank you, dear self. Thank you. Really, truly thank yourself for everything that you do for your healing and evolution. And if you wish to, only if you wish to, bow deeper to any god or goddess, any saint or avatar, power animal, anyone you walk with that empowers you and guides you. With gratitude to the ancestors of yoga, the ancestors of shamanism, the ancestors of Taoists, of martial arts. Inhale and gently rise and open your eyes. Namaste, Horpichai. Once again, welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome.
So much love. Good to see everybody. Welcome. We all now have unified in sacred space, this time together in this gathering. So just taking a moment to feel that space that you are sitting in this present moment and this time together. And thank you for joining us. Thank you so much for joining us. And as we begin, I just want to say this warrior shield, protecting your energy as a healer. For a moment, just feeling into the title of our workshop, of the masterclass that we're all coming together for. And just for a moment, think about what warrior means to you. Who is a warrior? What is a warrior? What does it mean to protect your energy? What does that mean to you? And who do you see as a healer, and do you identify as a healer? So just taking a moment to kind of unpack and really feel into each of those words and what you feel as the energy of each of those words, because some part of that title drew you to this moment, right? So I just want to have you feel into that. And then if you feel called to, if you want to just type in anything that comes to mind, if it's for you, for warrior, for healer, for protecting your energy, just contributing a little bit of energy to the group is welcome. So
I love that. And I think that there's a lot to it. It's just like, wherever we are, as we show up in the space, if it's online or physically somewhere, we're already a part of what is happening. And maybe the healing session or the workshop or the dinner, whatever it is. And the moment we're a part of what is happening, and I think this has a lot to do with the topic today, is we're contributing to what is happening. The moment we show up, we're already contributing to what is happening. And it's really important, and I love what you say, who's the warrior? It's just like, and the contribution is exactly that, is like to tap in to your inner self and it's like saying, how do I feel as a warrior? What do I feel a warrior, the archetype of a warrior is? And I'm saying a warrior healer. And what does it mean to put up a shield and to protect my energy, or to have my energy always intact and have my energy always free flowing, right? Because it's not about just holding it and shielding it, but it's a matter of allowing it to be there and be moving freely out. Because when it's moving freely out, then you're really contributing. So we're playing a role in what is happening, what is unfolding.
So here we say we've got centered and present and in the space of the heart. Thank you, Bonnie. Chaneli, warrior boundaries equal liberation. For Emmy, standing in my truth is a warrior.
Orpichai, yeah.
From Iris, protecting my human energy and opening to the divine energy that is the healer. That's So beautiful.
and that. Exactly. That's so.
And I am a warrior and a child. I embody my sovereign power embodied now. I heal all in this autonomous act of love. Aho.
And Aini, yes.
Aini. Beautiful. And Karen shares, I believe that the best protection is to clear all judgment as much as possible. Neutrality.
That's a huge one.
Spot on.
Oh yeah, we're going to be talking about neutrality.
Yes.
In the place of zero, protection, boundaries, and balance, and walking in my power. Beautiful, Denise. Thank you. And 2 hands of nonviolence. One is firmness. I will not consent to this injustice. And the other is I am open to you as a person. Beautiful.
So beautiful. Well, thank you guys. Like, what beautiful words. And for those of you that are sitting and kind of still feeling into what it means for you, just notice what was just shared and what resonates with you, what feels true for you. And if there's any more depth of dimension in these statements that you're experiencing or feeling.
And I love what we were talking about this last night. We've been talking about it for many years now, but last night specifically to this. And you were saying, it's just like, notice what you're feeling. I don't know if you caught that. It's like, notice what you're feeling, not what you're thinking. And I think this is a really big part of where we're headed with this, to come to that understanding. Like the shaman, the healer, the warrior is the warrior at heart, the healer at heart, is that body. What am I feeling? And that's the place where I'm going to feel my intuition, where I'm going to feel things coming through. So just taking a moment, even just close your eyes and feel what is the residue of the sensation of the word warrior, and kind of let go. You're going to go in thought. You're going to have to put words to it, but allow for the sensation in the body to be what is the primary feeling or the focus, and let the words describe what you're feeling in your body. And I could take a deep inhalation here and feel your whole heart expanding, filling your rib cage. Exhaling, say, ha. And let's do one more breath. Inhale and feel your whole heart filling your rib cage, and then beyond, filling this space 6 feet around you. And then say, ha. And inhale, gently open your eyes. Should we talk a little bit about the luminous field?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, I'll start with that.
I think that's perfect.
Okay.
We both have so much we want to share. And I love the comments that are coming in. So feel free to keep them coming and we'll kind of weave it all together.
Cool. If you read anything,
yeah,
share. So I'm going to start by saying a couple things that I feel that I've learned from the shamans. And that is really clear that the martial artists, the Taoists talk exactly about the same mechanism, and absolutely all of yoga. I'm talking about a warrior shield. Wait a minute, do we create a warrior shield in yoga at all? Does anyone know a warrior pose? No, I don't think so, no. Oh yeah, warrior 1 and warrior 2 and warrior 3. I think I must have done about 1.5 million so far. Oh my God, talking about brush up, brush down. Waxing that warrior 1, warrior 2. We're actually cultivating a warrior shield, and we could go through a warrior posture, but we just feel it in your body, because I know most of you here, I think the majority were all practicing. You all practice yoga, so the essence I feel, and I know what I've really received from my beloved teachers in Peru, and especially from Don Manuel, is that the understanding that we all, first of all, have an energy field around us. So I'm going to kind of quickly refer to this, because I think it is also, refer to it and kind of like dive into it just a little bit, because I think it is a big part of yoga. It definitely is a big part of martial arts.
Oh yeah.
And it is all of shamanism. And it is in the know thyself. It's like, so what's happening? If it is a matter of like, I did a yoga class and now I'm walking back home and I feel depleted. If I'm a body worker and I offered someone a massage and now it's later on in the day and I feel really depleted, or I did a healing session. sometimes we hear it's like, oh, I was after that session, my energy was totally lost. All right, I lost my energy. So backtrack and say that it is important for us, either as teachers or even in every interaction that we have as humans, to remember that we're responsible for our space, to remember that we're responsible for our personal balance. And I've several said here, we are responsible to be constantly bringing up love, emanating love, because if we were to describe it, to look at a warrior shield, it's made of love, right? It's love. It's not I'm putting up this iron sheet and it's like, you can't come into this space. That is really what we call in martial arts. It's going to be too rigid and it's going to break. Plus you're going to be inside suffocating. So that is absolutely, it's exactly, we're talking about the opposite of that. So when we're emanating love from the heart center moving outward, we're emanating our ojas as referred to yoga, and we're emanating this field that is created around us that does not allow anything else but love to enter and come all the way in. So I feel like I want to stand to talk about the energy field. You want to do that?
Feel free to relax if you want to stand. You're welcome to.
Yeah, you want to be close by with me, and we could do like, here we go.
Okay.
Let's see this. So we are electromagnetic, we're electrical and chemical beings, right? Let's come into the understanding of the Western world and understanding of what we truly are. Thank you, that's really helpful.
Yeah.
So we have electricity running through us, through our nervous system. Where else? Through our meridian system and the blood flow. And then I just realized basically everywhere there's electricity in the body, 0.1 to 0.2 volts. This electricity, physics tells us wherever there's an electric field, there's a magnetic field. So this electricity that runs in creates this luminous field around us, a magnetic field that springs from the crown of the head, comes all the way out. Wait a second, goes all the way down and comes back up again. Oh, here's the warrior one. Inhale, out, swan dive, and come back all the way up. The technology of actually going into the full warrior is creating this huge foundation under you that then you arise from. It's almost coming from lunge. I'm like, I arise. I have created a foundation connected with the earth, and I arise, and I am here. This luminous field, the center of the luminous field, is the heart itself. The heart has the most electricity in the body than any other organ. The heart is a thinking place. The heart is a feeling place. As it has the most electricity, it has its most, it's the organ, it's the center that is most invested in the luminous field itself, right? Because it's the electricity that's creating this field. And because the heart has the most electricity, it's designed to, it's almost putting out most of its feelers out there. Now, the whole idea of yoga, the whole idea of doing warriors and doing asana is to make sure that we're opening. We talked about where the electricity is running through. The electricity is running through the meridians, and in the meridians is where we really have our emotions. If we're feeling angry because someone said something, the feeling, the sensation of anger, if like someone says something to us or to two people, someone might get angry, someone might get angry, someone might get sad, someone may get fearful, someone might feel anxiety. It's like someone coming to you, it's like, I know there's a lot of yoga people here, someone coming to you and saying, I really didn't like your yoga class. And if we put 5 of us lined up here, we will have 5 different reactions. And I'll bring this home because this is important to understand, especially it's like I'm feeling, I did this yoga class, now I feel depleted, or I did this yoga class, now I'm feeling anxiety. What am I feeling? Or I did the healing session and there's something that's staying with me. So depending on our balance and where we're at, if someone doesn't have, someone's liver meridian is imbalanced, most likely they're going to say, it's like, what? You didn't like my yoga class? Now I got really upset. I'm going to come home to Nina. It's like, someone didn't like my yoga class. Or if the kidneys are depleted, we're like, oh my God, now I'm in fear. It's like, oh, someone didn't like my yoga class. What am I going to do? Any other examples you have? Any meridians and
Oh yeah, I get really sad as I feel like completely upset because my lung meridian is out of balance, and I'm gonna take it as like really sad because I had prepared and I don't know what I did wrong, and I can feel
and if someone's out of spleen, their spleen is out of balance.
Yeah, anxiety.
They're going to get all this anxiety. It's like, oh my God, I didn't like my yoga class, and who else doesn't like my yoga class? So watch this, because predisposition. Thank you. It's a predisposition. I think we can come back to seated. It's a predisposition, and here is the most the beautiful thing that I realized through working with the shamans that we are receiving from them is like, someone asking who's a shaman, who's the healer, and I think the healer and the shaman are the people that are mindful and heartful. Like I'm engaging in with I'm feeling, I'm leaning into how am I feeling, and keeping the focus and the memory that if I'm feeling a little bit out of balance, it's something that I have to do to bring that balance back. So we talked about predispositions. I think that again, yoga and Tai Chi and all the martial arts are the practices that allow us to strengthen our luminous field. And they do that by essentially opening the meridians. So there's a free flow and the balance of all our emotions. They actually literally stretch out the nervous system. The nervous system likes to curl up, and especially, if you're tired and then you go to bed, you might go and curl up, or it likes to do that. That's why we stretch in the morning. We stretch because we're stretching out our nervous system again, because our body knows that that's the way. With a more stretched out nervous system, I'll have a more efficient luminous field going out. So as we open our meridians and we have balance, and as we open and stretch out the nervous system, and then as we wring out in all those twists, the myofascia, what we're essentially doing is we're resetting the chemistry of the body and thus the field of the body. And it's important to always remember that that is our responsibility, is that because we feel that there's a world happening outside us, and we forget that part of, we're almost like we're watching life happen, right? But here as a warrior, we're entering and we're becoming protagonists in what is happening, at least to the place we're showing up. In other words, you're contributing, stepping into a place, stepping in a monitor and saying, here I am, this is what I'm going to contribute.
And so as Ray's sharing about kind of the basic foundational understanding of what a luminous field is, the energy that flows up through your kidney meridian, sprouts up, out and above in a 360-degree like sphere. So we're creating this glow, like this big orb, right? This light, this protective shield of light. And only will this protective shield of light, this warrior shield, if your luminous field is symmetrical and expansive, it becomes your warrior shield. If your meridians are blocked, if there's stagnant energy, if there's, in our school, we refer to as the narrator, if there's that nagging, doubting thought that's kind of pulling your attention and drawing your attention away from staying open and expansive to whoever you're with, if there's that voice that's pulling you off, I'm an imposter, I'm not good enough, I don't know what to say next, I don't know how to like navigate this. If there's any of that doubting mind, or like Ray was saying, if there's a predisposition to be angry, frustrated, fearful, sad, any of these heavier emotions, if you think of like sunglasses as a lens, every heavy emotion that's kind of given permission, allowed to be expressed as you're holding this luminous field, this expansive warrior shield, then that's like putting a veil, a pair of sunglasses on, preventing your light from being able to shine out fully. And it takes discipline to let go of. It's almost like seeing something. It's like, oh, I forgot to, for me, I walk through the house, I'm on a mission, but I see that there's a dish in the sink and I just want to wash that one dish real quick. But if I stop moving and I go to turn to do the dish, now my energy is not accomplishing the task that I had set out for, and I'm not having an efficient flow of energy, right? So if that nagging thought is like, I'm sitting as a healer, and I want to just take a moment and say, who is a healer? What is a healer? To me, we're all healers. Whether you actually sit and do healing sessions, or you're a therapist, or you're a doctor, or you're a nurse, or a teacher, or a mother, or a sister, or a friend, we're all healers. And if you're not a healer, I'm giving you permission right now to step into the seat as a healer, because you are. And first and foremost, we get to be healers for ourselves. We get to be healers for ourselves by really acknowledging what within our luminous field, within our energy body, is feeling heavy and weighted. And how can I refine that energy through practice, through Tai Chi, through yoga? How can I refine my energy through virtue? Through virtue. Virtue is the seed of all of our light, and we all are virtuous in nature. Every human being at our root core is virtuous in nature, and this virtue is the seed of light. And when we give attention to virtue in our thought and our actions and through our words, that allows our luminous field to expand even further. And so someone that's highly achieved, or also known as just practices paying attention to being kind to self, to others in all areas, they have over time expanded their luminous field beyond their arm's length. So a typical luminous field is about arm's length distance, front to back, all around. And someone that continues to cultivate the energy allows that energy, if you think of it like a higher voltage light shining out. And so adjusting myself. And so is stepping into a role of, I think of a dear friend is going through a difficult time, and I'm on the phone, and it's like everything else in my life stops. I am 100% with you. I am here. I care. I love you. And if I start, as you're talking, if I start multitasking and responding to email, how does that feel as the friend on the receiving side? Right? And
fall.
Is there anyone witnessing me? Is there anyone holding me? Is there anyone there? So it's not just, and I want to back up for a second. I cannot be that friend to anybody if I'm not that friend to myself first. Huge. So, and I say that because I think that to me that it was the big aha, and it's, how do I love myself? How do I be a friend to myself? Is prioritizing myself, having compassion for myself, having non-judgment for myself.
And feeling into yourself, feeling into your heart. How am I feeling now? Checking in.
Yeah, and I will say that it's a practice. It's not about being a perfect anything. It's about showing up and having a practice and laughing at yourself when you're like, wow, I totally blew off my morning meditation because I thought that something else was more important. And now I don't feel like I valued myself today. I'm going to carve out some extra time in the afternoon to really honor that part of myself that I know needs my full attention. And so as we're moving through this time this morning together, we're going to bring it to movement in a few moments. But I wanted to say that as we started today, we opened sacred space. We used a rattle. We used bells. We connected with the energies of the different directions. And that has been seen throughout multiple cultures throughout time. Connecting with nature allows us to connect more deeply with our true nature. Connecting to the directions, the elements that are offered, the energy quality that's offered in each direction. Can I connect with the energy qualities on the multi dimensions of myself? Or am I just focused on the direction I'm facing? Can I also be aware of what's behind me, to the right of me, to the left of me, above me, and below me? Can I have an expanded awareness to be able to have a consciousness and a sensitivity to feel into these multi-level dimensions and not just have this one dimension of I have this task to do and I'm doing it and I have this much time, and kind of limiting ourselves and really preventing ourselves from tapping in to the multi dimensions of our reality, of our capacity, of our potential.
Oh, a potential.
Yeah. Go for it. Pass the baton.
You know how the dogs, you hold a tennis ball and you're like this, and like,
I
hear all these words, and
I
want to take any of these words and run with it. It's
go,
like,
go, go.
I want to say this, I want to say that. So first of all, I want to say about the luminous field, because it is essential. But I also say that I think that part of what we're saying is we've heard a lot of healers saying that after a healing session, I might be feeling this. So I would like to kind of essentially eradicate that, kind of like say, okay, here's a gift, guys. You can do 100 healing sessions and you'll be good. Totally good. Your energy won't be tapped into, as long as there's a few things that we need to do. And most important, I think, that everything we're talking about, what you're saying, it's like, don't miss. Nina never misses her morning meditation. She doesn't, because she says, I'm going to start my day from here. And once that here starts, the whole day is happening from there, rather than, playing up, oh, we're late, or we're running, or we're not. We didn't pay attention. Where are we coming from? So when I am about to go into a healing session, if I haven't done this in the morning, if it's not a part of my practice, it's definitely a part of preparing to do a healing session. And in the Jaguar Path and the 9-month training, we talk about it. It's just like in your office, your studio, your home, wherever you are, where you're working with a client or a friend. First thing you do is you open the sacred space. Mm-hmm. And it is so important. I want to come back to it again, because I don't know, 20 years ago, I thought this was metaphorical, and it was a tradition of, say, the chacana, the 4 directions of the shamans of Peru. And it is not metaphorical, it's absolutely real. And it's exactly what Nina was saying, the energies in different directions. So let's talk about it a little pragmatically and understand it a little bit. So there's this huge nature of life. The nature of life itself is interactive in one specific way, in an electrical and chemical way. Our whole experience, and every experience we have, is an electrochemical experience. We receive electric signals, or the sound, or what we see. It's all electricity that comes to us. And as it taps into our, first of all, our luminous field, we begin to have information which gives birth to emotions. What am I feeling? I see this person far away and I say, oh, look, there's a saint coming. and I'm already beginning to feel it. But where was that perceptual state happening? The energy is coming in, and now the information is processed within me. So it's up to my factory and my endocrine system. What am I able to create? How am I able? What am I recognizing as a saint, or a beautiful woman, or an awesome cook, or whatever it is that I'm seeing and perceiving, right? So there's electricity around. But the moment this the magnetic field of the electricity arrives to us, then we're giving birth to what we're feeling. And this is really important, because this is a shaman. The shaman is not a person that's thinking. A shaman is a person that is watching what he or she is thinking. Mm-hmm. And this is huge for everything, for all of the yoga, for all of it, awakening, enlightenment, self-aware. It's awareness. It's self-awareness. It's like, I am not feeling comfortable right now. So this is what's happening. And bring me back to the electromagnetic field of the planet and the heart. And I'm just going to say this. We have these windows, and we're like looking out, and we've come to this earth, and it is, oh my God, in so many names, so beautiful. It's like the blue of the sea, the red of the flowers, Nina. There's just so many things. We're looking out, and we're like, we are really, for a good reason, what's the word?
In awe,
right? And then there's another thing, and there's a beautiful motorcycle, and then there's a beautiful flower, and
there's food.
There's a beautiful yoga posture,
and
a beautiful car, and it could be, there's beautiful music, like anything from totally material to totally spiritual. There is just so much beauty. And we're in awe, and we forget who is the one doing the looking. So there's a tendency, because I'm looking and I think life is outside, to say that it's all outside. So if I did have a session and now I'm really depleted, there may be a tendency to say, well, I had a session with so-and-so and he or she depleted me. And that is just not true. Or from the shamanic view, and if we're feeling it, we might be feeling that. What is really important is to step back and say, okay, of course they came with something heavy. If they wouldn't come to a healer if they didn't have an issue at all. They'd send you an email, say, hey, I'm at the beach, see you later. They're coming because they're either going to push something through their body or help them move through yoga or Tai Chi or do a session. So it's natural that they're coming with something with you that is heavy. And what you're there to do as a healer in any method that you use is to help them manage and change the reaction to the energy they're feeling. So we keep on discovering and we keep on learning. So we talked about the energy field, and the center of the luminous field of every person is the heart. And from the heart, then there's this beautiful magnetic field all around. Mm-hmm. And Nina said to me last night, you have to talk about the unified field. You have to talk about the unified field. And I will. Just a little bit of, physics, or a little bit of quantum physics. No, a little bit of Einstein. When Einstein was in Princeton, quantum physics was just beginning to be born. And he was like all not about it. He didn't like the ideas that these guys were saying because they were just taking it to an abstract place. But in any case, everything he said eventually helped them out to go deeper into quantum physics. One of the things that he said is that there are two huge energies that are around us, that are everywhere. There's two big energies in reality that actually define reality. And those energies are the energy of gravity, the force of gravity that pulls everything to the center of the planet, right? That we feel as weight. I'm connected to the earth. And the other field that is huge and unseen is the magnetic field of the planet, which puts out this beautiful magnetic field that protects us from gamma rays, X-rays, radiation flares, even comets sometimes, and meteors. And I think it's almost like thinking about something coming at me, like a comet or a meteor. If I have my energy field out, it's just going to go, and we're going to see a nice tail of light, of color, and it'll be burnt before it even arrives. So it's not going to change anything in my core. Einstein and the shamans talk about the same thing. So you're a planet, you're a beautiful planet on your own, and you have that gravity in your heart. And when you're coming into your heart, that gravity takes. And if that gravity takes, it's like we do these practices, and it's just like Nina connects into her heart, it goes down through her feet, and then says, push me. And it's the same as pushing one of these columns. She's not moving. She's just smiling and laughing. And I'm like, because she's rooted in the heart, and through the heart goes down all the way to kidney meridian to the feet. So there's these two elements, and I'm going to give it to you. One is that you remember that if you're cultivating your energy through yoga or Tai Chi, Qigong, if you're cutting cords through shamanic work, or lighting a fire, doing a fire ceremony, giving up things, and you're taking care of the core and you're living in the heart, automatically everything is tuned to create an energy field that is impenetrable from anything negative, that is impenetrable from anything that might inspire you to feel. Because it's not like if a client comes, it's like sometimes we work with someone that has cancer. I'm not going to take that on. Sometimes I work with someone that's really angry. I'm not necessarily going to take it on at all. It's not my predisposition. It's what this person is working with. I might be, though, and this is important for all of us, for healers, I might be moved emotionally. And it's like that person was so angry. On one hand, I felt sad because this person was angry and their life was falling apart, perhaps, just saying example. And then the other hand, it's like, oh, they were so right. Now I'm getting angry too. And then the rest of my day is kind of like a little bit confused. I open sacred space. I enter with a heart blasting out. I shine on this person. And then when we close sacred space, and I continue the rest of my day shining my heart out to the next thing I'm contributing to. I'll pause because
I was just reading something that came in and I don't quite understand the question, but so that's why if you saw me look a little confused, I was trying to figure out what this question means.
We've talked about beautiful ways of like, so if we're walking in, I think first of all that we clarified that it's important for me to remember that my state, my endocrine state and place I'm at, my happy, my balance, my sensation is really my responsibility, and I have to remember it. And that's basically why we all do yoga every day and Tai Chi and all that. And I'm constantly working on it because it's a physical thing, right?
So, Karen, I'm not quite understanding the question. So if you could restate that for me, I think I know where you're going, but I'm not 100% sure. And I'm going to bring it into this next piece as you rephrase that, just because I'm not sure. Matching picture between healer and client. I'm not sure what that means. Hold that thought though. As we're walking through life, as Ray was saying, we have the magnetic field, we have our expansive energy field. And I know for myself, I hear a lot of people that are empaths that will feel, and I feel it. I can really feel what my client is feeling. I can really feel what my sister is feeling, my mother is feeling, my father is feeling, my friend is feeling, my husband is feeling. Like I take that because I care so deeply and I want to help. And so just for a moment, I'm going to do a little bit of like role playing. Before my sister calls, if I've been thinking about this problem and that problem and I don't know, and I'm trying to figure it out and I'm sitting at my desk and then I pick up the phone and I'm listening and I'm like, oh my gosh, are you serious? Oh no. Oh my gosh. Okay. And what if instead, before my sister calls or my client walks in, right? The person I care for, what if before I answer the phone, I see my sister or my friend or my client, and I know there's something going on and I just take a moment and I'm like, okay. And I pick up the phone. And instead of sitting and letting my energy collapse and going like this, what if I have the phone and I'm walking and I'm like, okay, I hear you. I feel you. Okay. I'm going to step outside. And I'm going to take some deep breaths. And as she's talking and I'm feeling it, I'm fanning out my toes. I'm lengthening up through my spine. I'm finding my alignment and I maintain an alignment. And I don't allow my physical body to take on the words and the emotion of, oh, I can't believe this, right? Instead of getting into receiving it and mirroring, and maybe that's what you were saying, Karen, rather than mirroring it and kind of and responding, what if I come into the place of having a higher HRV, higher vibration? My heart rate variability is at a higher vibration. So instead I allow my sister to start to match me and I allow her to mirror me. And I help pull her out of what she's feeling rather than being pulled in. And now we're both like, what are we gonna do? Right? And now we're just in it together. And now there's two of us down. And now we gotta call my mother. We're gonna call Ray. Let's bring everybody. And I'm laughing and I'm gonna keep it light. But one thing that I will say, as Ray's talking about the luminous field all the time, and as I'm talking, you're seeing my hands, you're seeing my body, you're seeing my body language. This position in the Taoist practices is warding off negativity. I'm talking about my heart rate variability having a higher vibration so that when I mirror, when I match, I'm able to help lift the vibration, the heart rate variability of my friend, my client, my husband, whoever's having a challenging moment. Now, if my heart rate variability is kind of getting low and I'm thinking about things and I'm feeling kind of heavy, I bring my hands together because my pericardium 8 point is in the center of my hands. This is the flag of my heart. This is how I vibrate out to the world. Hello, I love you guys. I'm sending you my vibration, right? Now, if I need to charge that, if I have something negative, I have something heavy, I have something challenging coming on, I plug in. I come into this posture to unify. I'm creating an energy circuit right now. This and this is like a plug. And as I click into place here, my feet are plugged in and rooted to the earth. My crown is connected, aligned with the sky, the heavens. My tongue is resting on my upper palate, and I'm going to start to slow down and steady my breath.
Bring everything to heart.
And I don't know if you can feel it, but my luminous field has absolutely, if it wasn't already, is now transformed into a warrior shield.
And can I say, if you can't, you can probably see it. You can't see it, you could probably hear it. The moment Nina did this and did an exhale of what was happening before, there's a shift in her voice that's coming from a deeper place, from a calmer place.
Mm-hmm. And so, do you want to speak to that?
Go right ahead.
So I want to bring us to a little bit of movement to what I do before a session, especially if I'm feeling depleted. And what we say in our school for shamanism is if you feel depleted, it's an opportunity to deepen.
Yeah, and it's almost wants me to make me say, it's like, especially, what do I do before a session? Especially always, especially always, like at all times. Like, I love this. It's like a preparation of doing some qigong. I know a client is coming. How do I make sure that I'm in a good place so I can offer the maximum of my light to this person? And I love what you say. If there's an exchange of energy and we think that I might feel the heaviness that someone left behind, well, I can know that there's a mechanism there. In the know of the mechanism, I can turn those tables and say, that's a skunk, isn't it?
I'm like, we have skunk medicine happening.
Skunk medicine. It's definitely,
I was like,
it's definitely not a jaguar.
Anyway.
So we reverse this, and I think it's huge what you just said. And if I may just say one sentence about HRV, because you tapped in it, and I think it's the heart rate variability. And it's again where now modern science is beginning to catch up, or it's beginning to measure and tell us things what the shamans, the yogis, the martial artists were talking about. So Harvard Medical came up with this about, I think I want to say 10, 12 years ago, maybe more. But they started, now that we have these amazing clocks and we can measure in nanoseconds in 0.0000, they've measured the timing of the heartbeat, and they've realized that every heartbeat is in a different time and space than the others. So it's not always boom, 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 boom. That's low heart rate variability. Heart rate variability, when it goes boom, 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 it changes constantly. It's almost like a drum beating meaning to you. And it's exactly doing that. As your HRV is changing, the heart rate is more varied. It's giving information to the whole body, right? The heart is the master of masters of the body, of your reality, of existence and perception. The heart sends signals to the pituitary gland, the governor gland, and now the governor gland tells everyone else what to do and what to feel. If you're feeling anger, if you're feeling sad, if you're feeling confident or not confident, anything you're feeling. And that sensation in the body is what gives birth to thought. So if my body is feeling upset, then I'm going to have an upset thought. It's not, it's that conversation between hormones and thinking, the narrator, is where that's what the shaman is looking at. I'm noticing what I'm feeling. It's like, oh, this person said that, and I felt that trigger from the past, and I'm getting upset. I have no reason to be upset right now. This is not the past. Let me inhale, or let me do the practice that Nina shared with. Mm-hmm. So the idea is, like, again, to reset the endocrine system, so you're in a place of higher HRV. Prepare before the session and after. Maybe this is before a ceremony or before a healing session or before a yoga class. And then what do I do after to remain complete and make sure that there is nothing left in my mirror neurons, because no one's really giving me something. They didn't give me their anger. They didn't give me their sadness. I was inspired, or it made me feel something, right? That's really important to remember. It made me feel something, and that something will remain in me as long as if I'm not taking care of it. If I just say, oh, I was so exhausted, I just had to rest on the couch for the rest of the day after that session. Well, guess what's going to happen with the hormones if I'm resting on the couch? Sometimes it's important to rest on the couch.
It's kind of like marinating.
But first, before you marinate in what was left in what you're feeling, we'll do some practices to move that and then rest, right? So I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah.
You lead us to
Of course.
before the yoga, before the session.
So yeah, if you would like to join me, if you have a little bit of space, you just need, we'll be standing. And I always say it's nice to have the arm's length distance from front to back and side to side. That's perfect. Okay, so first things first, coming into the practice, taking a moment to, we call return to the origin as a standing meditation. So you just take a moment to fan out your toes, feel your feet kind of squish down into the floor. And then as you press down, take a moment to inhale and lengthen up through the crown of the head. And then sigh it out, let your eyes soften or close. Let your tongue find your upper palate, the flesh behind your teeth. Like above, yeah, right up in the upper palate. And then for a moment, just allow yourself to settle and feel yourself in this moment. Letting go of whatever you are doing, allowing your mind to come into stillness, your body to feel the echo of this quiet stillness. And then from here, take a deep breath. Inhale, let your hands flow overhead, palms unite. Exhale, draw your hands to your heart space. And I'm just gonna step like this so you can see me. So taking a moment to feel your hands at your heart space, a reminder that this posture alone is a posture that wards off negativity, heaviness. And then we begin with energy draws. We're gonna restore any depleted energy, and we'll be drawing on the north, the sky, and the earth. And the north is seen as drawing in wisdom. The sky is seen as bringing in uplifting creative energy, and the ground is gonna be supportive and grounding, okay? So we'll start with an inhale, reach your hands forward, and an exhale, let your hands return. Above, inhale, reach the hands up. Exhale, they return. And to the earth, inhale. And exhale. We'll do 2 more rounds just like that. Inhale, let your breath be audible. Sigh out. Above. Feel yourself inviting this beautiful energy into your heart space, restoring any depletion to the earth. And 1 more round, full breaths. Above. And below. And then take a full breath in. As you exhale, you're letting your hands open, releasing any excess energy from your hands, from your heart. And as your hands arrive by your side, you're going to step your feet so they're past your shoulder. And then just nice and easy, start to turn at the waist to ring the temple bell. And with each wrap of the arms, you're going to give an H sound. This H sound is activating the fire. And the fire burns away anything, any heaviness, any darkness, anything that is keeping you from fully expanding in a symmetric and expansive luminous field. Let your arms swing a little higher, coming up by your shoulders. And see how it feels to bend your knees as you turn. That activates the quadriceps and allows the fire to be even more potent. And let your arms come back down and start to slow down the turn in the waist. And slowly allow yourself to come to stillness and pause for a moment to feel. And then gently bend the elbows. So your elbows are pinned to the ribs and your hands are just relaxed completely. And I'm going to step back so that you guys can see. And we're going to do what's called shaking down the tree. So you're just going to simply bend the knees and kind of give this bounce and let your hands completely jiggle. And as you're doing that, you're going to kind of turn to one side and turn to the other. And then if you want to, imagine that there's a string lifting you up from above and it's just having your heels tap the earth. So as you're shaking down the tree, your heels are tapping to align the spine, which is that main column of energy flow. And allowing all the nerve centers, the entire nervous system to be awakened for the energy to flow freely. And let your head relax, give a good and then nice and easy, slow it down. Let your hands come by your side and pause for a moment to feel. Allow your eyes to soften or close. Tongue finds your upper palate. As the tongue is the bridge between the energy line that flows up the back of the body and the one that flows down the front of the body, creating this beautiful circuit. And take a full breath in, let your arms float up. Sigh it out. Let your hands gather the earth energy, guide it up the center line of your body. At the top, turn the palms. This is called propping the heavens. So with your hands to the sky, feel your feet rooting down. Take a full breath in, get nice and long and tall. Turn the palms as you exhale, slow motion. You're going to clear your mind, letting go of any excess thought, any excess energy in the mind, and allow all the energy of any emotions to be gently guided into the lower abdomen, your lower energy center. And as your hands come by your side, feel the corners of your mouth rise, and allow your hands to come to your heart space. Give a gentle bow. Thank you.
Thank you. That was awesome.
And I know Ray wants to say something. I want to give a quick parallel and draw the line between opening sacred space and what we just did. When we were shaking down the tree, we're awakening the mitochondria. We're changing the rhythm of the energy. We're changing the vibration. So just like the rattle, the shaking down the tree is awakening the mitochondria. It's like, what's going on? There's some change happening. There's some change happening. Ringing the temple bell. The bells across cultures are signifying, inviting the high vibration spirits, or
celebrating,
or signaling that a session is occurring, if that sacred space is occurring, that sharing this indigenous, this ancient wisdom is happening. And so as we have the symbolism of the bells and the rattle while we're opening sacred space, we come into the practice of awakening our physical body, our vessel, to invite our spirit in fully, and to be fully inspirited. When we're shaking down the tree, we're letting go of excess chatter in the mind. I think of it as like static electricity in the body, and it's all getting grounded and released into the earth, absorbing that. So then when I arrive, say I do that every morning, or I do that before my sessions, before I head into work, or whatever it is that you find yourself in that seat of as the healer, where you may be getting depleted, you may be getting influenced, you may be kind of, for lack of a better word, feeling almost like contaminated or pulled down. If that practice is happened, then your whole being has an awareness, is a witness that you have awakened, you've rung the temple bell, you've awakened the physical body to be the house of your spirit. Mm-hmm. Your temple is inspirited, is enlivened, is filled with light. You shake down the tree, you've let go of anything that is not healthy, that's not supportive, and you've let that go. And so as you come into the practice, there's a witness of self, knowing that now I am expansive, I am now safe, I am protected through my virtue, through my discipline, to not get drawn into the temptation of bringing energy into a lower vibe emotion or thought or action or word.
That is beautiful.
Thank you.
And I feel like I want to say that, and just doing this practice, and if you notice, talking about opening sacred spaces, first from the heart, like a spear out to the front of my luminous field, then up to Father Son to connect with the divine, with the pineal gland, back to the heart, then down to Mother Earth and through Muladhara, the first chakra, the foundation, and then up. So every Qigong is an act of opening sacred space. And what that really also means is that I am creating this shield of love. It's this the warrior of love, and the shield is made of this stuff that's called love. I think that's the importance to realize why Christ talked about love, why Buddha talked about love. It's above and beyond. We're talking, it's like, I want to be loved, or I love you. That's in there too. But the bigger love that all the great teachers are talking about is essentially what everything is made of. How do the cells vibrate? They vibrate with this electricity that is love itself. And I love how you describe it. It's about allowing for yourself to be coming from that place outward. So again, I mean, just coming back to, I feel that we were inspired by hearing, it's like that thing is like, as a healer, I might get depleted. It's really important to realize that might become, it comes from two things. First of all, the collective consciousness and ideas that are just floating out there without any, they're just floating out there. And the other part that it comes from is like, how can I assume responsibility for what I'm feeling and what I'm thinking? And I think it's really, really, really important. Or it's that sensation that I rather that I took something that I may have feel something, I may still be feeling an hour or 2 hours later, something from a session. It's really important to remember that I am the general manager of my energy and my emotions, right? And maybe I don't have to be alone. It doesn't mean that I'm alone now in it. Remember that we are used to feeling that the world is happening outside us. So if I look back, why am I still sad? It's like, oh, because I did a session with so-and-so. There's almost like a giving the responsibility to so-and-so, especially if they're a client, if they're a student, if they're a friend that is coming in trouble, they're not responsible for that. They're actually coming to you for help for that. So your job, literally your job, what you're paying for, the yoga class, the kung fu class, the healing session, is to maintain your heart opening as love and moving outward and allowing them to then mirror you. And especially exactly like you said, if you have a higher HRV, right? A person coming in with a problem has a lower HRV, their heart rate variability is, they're not feeling it, their energy is collapsing. Keep yours up, love emanating outward. And when you're emanating outward, you're not reaching out of balance. Mm-hmm. Actually, you can emanate love if you're reaching out of balance. It's dysfunctional. That's dysfunctional relation. It's like, can I come back into my center? And when you do find that center, there's a little bit of a click when that alignment happens, where you're now automatically emanating love. You're automatically emanating this light outward. So I just love that like I'm piercing with my heart. I'm connected to my pineal gland and Father Son. I am connected to my Muladhara, first chakra energy, and Mother Earth. So then I'm walking from that place. I'm holding space to a person that has come for help from that space. And I'm also, just as a more intellectual thing, is like I'm aware of what I'm thinking and what I'm feeling. And if I'm putting not judgment or blame, but if I'm feeling it as someone else's, I have to remind myself, it's like, okay, so now I'm feeling this. Now it's for me to solve. So I want to say that shaking down the tree, we've done in an elevator. It's awesome because it changes, because it's just practical, awesome tool. Something happened and it's natural it's so natural for this now to be in the blood flow. The hormones have been secreted, it's in your circulation. When you shake it, you're shaking internal organs, you're shaking your endocrine system, you're moving it to go faster, and you're shaking it off your luminous field. Let me shake it out this way. I think that we are going to quickly run out of time.
Well, we have infinite time.
I love that. Einstein time. Should we open it up to a couple questions, or I'll let you lead?
I was going to say, I see questions coming in.
Okay, there you go. There you go. Maybe open us a couple of questions, and then what can we do for after a session?
We have to hold a little bit of time at the end so that I can show you a practice for when you finish a session, or you get off the phone with that loved one, or you leave that meal and you come back and you're like, okay, I'm really glad I was able to stay strong for so-and-so. I really feel like I was able to hold space for them, but now I need to honor myself. And so we'll do that. I do want to say I'm seeing something come in that wasn't to the group. Good. I just want to speak to this point that's powerful, that's coming through in our physical body. I don't know if anyone else, I'm just referencing a moment when I was young and my sister and I were ski racing, and there was this older person, they were probably like 30. This old person was on the trail and I went off the mountain, and I like completely was just flying through the air and tumbled, and all of a sudden I remember coming back into my body. My body wasn't a safe place in that moment. And I'm using that as a very surfacey, I didn't do anything wrong. I was a child, I was young, I was a teenager. Now, if my body is not a safe place to be, my whole spirit, all of my energy will not be downloaded into my physical body, my earth suit, my vessel. So we have these two polarities. We have the earth energy, and we have the energy of the heavens, or heaven, or divine light. And together, these two poles create life. And that's each of us. We're all created by the earth, the chemistry of the earth. And we all have this divine light that is our spirit, right? And if the physical body is not a safe place to be, the spirit will get kind of spooked out. And so our practices are creating a really safe vessel, a space where there's love, where there's good, healthy food, nourishment, all of these things that we can do through exercise, positive thinking, education, good quality friendships, watching and reading good quality content, so that we're bringing in positive energy. And I'm speaking to this kind of lightly and surfacey from the direct message that came through. But I just want to say, if there's ever a moment in like a car accident or something that's really traumatic, the spirit will get kind of spooked out. And then when it feels safe, all of you gets to return. And the masters, the Taoist masters, practiced the arts of Tai Chi and Qigong to cultivate their energy body, their spirit, and their physical body, so that their physical body could be strong enough to hold their full spirit and have that expansive luminous energy that is like that higher voltage light. Okay. And so I'm just gonna, I'm touching on this, I know, kind of surfacey for the comment that came directly to us, and honoring your confidentiality with that. But I want to say that in cultivating this energy, think for a moment, if there's someone that you know or you've seen that when they walk in the room, everyone kind of turns and looks, and you kind of like, yeah, like so-and-so is here. That is somebody that has a lot of spirit in their vessel, right? And then there may be someone you know that walks in the room, and everyone, and it kind of like it's almost like the light dims, and sometimes it's like a cloud went over.
They walk in and no one notices.
Yeah.
Oh.
And so no judgment to either, but just noticing that not only for yourself, when you notice you have more energy than other times, but noticing the people in your life, because we're all each other's, I think of, we're brothers and sisters, but we're in this class of life. We're all in this class together, and we're helping each other learn by each other's presence, and how we're showing up for ourselves is reflected in how we show up for each other. And so I just wanted to speak to that. Just kind of touching on that. We go into a lot more detail in the training about this in particular.
Yeah, in essence, you're talking about soul retrieval. Yeah. And it has everything to do with the warrior shield, because the more I'm like downloading my spirit within my heart, the more I'm here, the more gravity I have, right? The more my magnetic field moves outward. And gravity means that, like I said, it says try to push Nina when she's fanning out her toes. There's pushing nothing. It's just like you slide back. And it's beautiful. In the meantime, it's love radiating outward. It's not stubbornness. It's not, I'm going to protect myself. It's just, I am here. And Yeah, I think that is really big, just to feel into the gravity, how much gravity you're putting in. That is all the practices that we're doing. Like the more you open your channels to the Tai Chi, Qigong, and yoga, the more the actual physical electricity is moving unhindered, and the flow of actual juices of your endocrine system and the energy of the meridians, the waters of the meridians that are moving through the body. The more unhindered you are, the more you stay in your center of your heart. And it's just like, I feel important information intellectually to remember that we're electrical chemical beings. And for the shamans, this is something I really asked as someone, because I was doing Reiki before, and then I started working with the shamans, right? And I said, so do I put energy, or do I take that energy? And both Maestro Panduro and my beloved Manuel said, you do not take or give any of your energy with your clients. You're fully present, and each is inspired by the other. So if I am in that higher HRV, I will automatically inspire my client. And I'll say this to the healing session, it might pertain more to the healing of someone else, but also it's important that what I'm there to do, actually, because right in the training, and many of you are from the training. I love you guys, and we love everyone here. Everyone. It's like, what my job is, besides having 18 shamanic tools, I can rattle something, I can do a chakra illumination, I can do a soul retrieval, I can do a fire ceremony, I can do a cord cutting. The list goes on how I can help in different aspects of depending on the psychological issue or trauma or what's up for my client. There's only always one thing I'm doing. I'm keeping my heart wide open in the middle of this story of this person that's coming over, and they're saying this happened and this happened. There's times that I've sat in sessions that I'm like, my mind is thinking, it's like, oh my God, this tragedies that happened to this person, I don't know if I would be able to hold all this in my life. That's so, difficult. And at the same time, I'm remembering, it's like, now is the time to inhale and expand instead of going with that story. Keep the heart open. And it's been so many times, hundreds of times that I've seen it, that while the person is telling me their story, I keep on opening, I keep on leaning in rather than closing and moving back. And while I'm opening and leaning in, they're having a new realization. It's like, okay, well, this happened to me, but maybe it doesn't need to bog me out. Maybe I can really actually tackle this. Maybe actually I'm feeling better and I can let it go right now. Oh, what? Cord cutting? Yeah, let's cut a cord. Oh, that's not hurting me anymore. Let's do a fire ceremony. Oh, I burnt it. It's good. And while they're watching you as a healer remain open as love and light, they have the opportunity in that love and light to surrender the pain and the closing down, right? The lack of love.
Beautiful.
You had a beautiful exercises, or a couple exercises for
I did
after.
And I just want to, I feel there's been a couple other questions that have come in. I really want to make sure we speak to these. Thank you guys. Does the same practice apply with your children? I found it easier with others than my own children. Like, can I just get a show of hands? Anyone else?
Doesn't work with the children at all.
Forget
about it.
It's like a higher level. That's like the advanced course.
That's next month. We'll work on it.
Because I'm saying it with sweetness, because of course you want to show up for your children, and it's almost like this mirror, like even more intense mirror that's like you
are seeing yourself.
You're seeing yourself, and it's almost like
a mini me.
Right. And then it's like they're saying things, and it's almost like they know exactly what to say to kind of to almost like throw you off your balance.
To the DNA level triggering, right?
So do you want to?
It's just, it's sweet, and it's big, and it's beautiful. It applies to the kids. Of course, our kids are going to get deeper into our endocrine system because we share the endocrine. They have our own endocrine system, really, or they've received a map, if anything, on their DNA to begin with.
So that would be like Ray saying, okay, it's like someone else might be like, hey, tapping you on the shoulder, hey, can I have some help? Where your kids are going to come in with that whole body chuck. Like, hey, Dad,
come on,
hey, Mom, right?
You're helping.
And it's like, oh, I love you, sweetheart. And wow, especially if you didn't see it coming. So that is an opportunity to have discipline and to root down and lengthen up and find your center and honor the pause. Give yourself time and a moment to take a deep breath and pause before you, I'll say, before you skillfully respond. And I'm saying it with a lot of light and love, because it's not like you walked into the office and you did your like ceremony to get ready for the day of work. It's like, it's part of every moment. And you know, I think of Jason, my soul son, Ray's son, and we'll just be starting something, and it's like at that moment he needs us, and we're like, hold on, we're live with all these people. He's like, yeah, but I need the recipe now, you know, like, it's like,
where are my shoes?
Where's the tahini, or whatever it is. And so it provides us with, I'm kind of sweetly saying that advanced course, but it provides us with that next level opportunity to fan out the toes, root down, feel the support of the earth beneath, feeling the connection above, and the beautiful, beautiful gift that we receive with our sacred, beloved children is that when we are able to hold that center and we don't get thrown off and we don't get pulled off, the modeling and the teaching is so deeply profound that then you get to witness, and you get to witness the mirroring when you see them having something kind of try to throw them off their balance, and you see them root down and lengthen up, and all of a sudden you look at your child and go, wow. And then there are also those moments that aren't so graceful, of course, where you get off your center and then you sit down later and say, okay, I was just preparing for this or that. And this is why I wanted to be there for you. And this is, you know, I said this or I did that, but, and then talking about it. I want
to say is that I'm inspired because there's been a couple times in the past, and 2-3 years ago, it's just like, where you said something was happening. I remember Jason is awesome. He's an awesome son. He's great. I'm so proud and so happy and so lucky and all of that. There's children. We raise those things in life. But you said to me, it's just like, now it's time for the clap of thunder to come from Dad. The clap of thunder. And
I did say that.
and it was so liberating for me, because I had the opportunity to say, no, you need to be doing this, right? But when I said it and coming from that place, I wasn't losing my heart or my balance, right? I just was that clap of thunder to bring a realization. And he loved it. He looked at it.
He said,
boundaries are the best things for kids. Boundaries is the biggest gift.
And it was rooted in love. The thunder
and absolutely rooted in love. Yeah.
Was not coming from any place but pure love. And that's really important. That's important.
I think it's an awesome, huge conversation. The people that are closest to us, they own the strings of our emotions more than anyone. 2 things I want to say really quickly before we take it to the exercise, because at the end, everything is physical. I looked at it years ago, 30 years ago, I thought shamans were all about metaphysics and Kung Fu. They were like really metaphysical. It's everything is absolutely physical. There's a mechanism that's happening. If I shake down the tree, I'm going to have specific results. I'm going to let the emotion is just going to be melting away. If I ring the temple bell, the emotion is going to be wrung out of my myofascia. So I'm not getting those signals anymore. I've changed it. I physically changed it.
Rewiring.
And so 2 quick stories. And it's just like, one of my teachers always said to me that it is up to you every moment. It is up to you to either remain open as love or shut down in your dysfunction. But wait, it was so-and-so that did it. Yeah, but it's my choice. It's still my choice. It is hard sometimes. It is hard. Things need to be addressed. Always need to be addressed, but it's always important to remember. And really, the biggest gift that I've received in my life, perhaps the single biggest gift that I've received in my life, was from a beloved teacher, Maestro Panduro, who gave me a lot of hard love. Panduro, his last name is hard bread. He was hard any way you looked at him. He's like, nope. He was like, really. And the first moment I met him, I was like there in the jungle, was hoping that I would be healed from cancer, that he would heal me. And I'm on my knees crying. And he looks down at me and he says, hermanito, little brother, I don't care about my own emotions. What makes you think I'm going to care about your emotions? And I'm crying. I'm like bawling. I'm like, I'm losing my life. So, and I hear that and I'm like, oh my God, what is this? I've come to the wrong place. This person doesn't have empathy. This person has no compassion. It's like, what am I doing down the river here? I'm just going to be like, no one will ever know. I'll never come out of this jungle. I stand up, I'm wiping up the tears. And I look at him. I'm like, I don't even know what to say to this. And he reaches out at that moment. He says, it looks like you're ready to do the work. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. So he gave me all, like one of the most difficult moments of my life of emotions that I had reason to shut down in my dysfunction. I'm like, I'm dying, I'm shutting down. He had that opportunity to tell me that I'm still able to take a step and rise into Condor and, okay, this is a difficult moment, or I'm feeling this, or I'm feeling that. What can I do about it? Rather than allow the narrator to say, well, it was so-and-so's session that did it to me. It's like, no, you're not passive. You're not, it's nothing happening to you.
Yeah.
You are contributing, and may it be always love and light that we're contributing. And then we'll bounce back. Things in life are, up, down, left, right.
Yeah.
Come back to love, come back to love.
So with that beautiful story, I always get a little like chills and a little teary eyed because I love Ray so much. And I get like, I can't believe he said that to you. But anyway, if I am that shining light and I'm creating this expansive luminous field and I'm not a puddle that just got imprinted and absorbed like a sponge, someone else's emotion, then I have these currents, this energy flowing through the rivers of my body. So I want to clear out those currents. I'm going to wash out those rivers. So let's do some energy washes for when you've just finished that conversation, that healing session. And if you want to join me,
my favorite. You should definitely join to feel it, to know it.
And just like a river, I'm not going to push the river, right? I want to go with the flow of the river. I want to go steady, slow and steady. And I want to use my breath because my breath is what is allowing the energy to move. So without breath, the energy is not moving. So I'm going to always match the intensity of my breath with the intensity of the movement. So this is slow and steady. My breath will be slow and steady. Okay. So we're going to start. I'm going to come at an angle so you can see. We're going to inhale and we're going to hold this big chi ball, this big energy ball. And I want you to imagine a little electric current between each of your fingers, like a little zzz. And now we're going to imagine this beautiful, luminous, glowing blue color because the waters within are like this beautiful, vibrant water. So once you formed your ball, you're going to take a gentle inhale, let your hands flow up. As you begin to exhale, your hands just sweep over. I'm about a couple inches away from my body. I'm not touching. I'm letting my hands flow down the center, straight down the front of the legs. Soften your knees, protect your lower back as you slowly rise, reform your ball. And then continue, inhale, wash up. Without straining the breath at all, a gentle exhale flows down. Hands sweep out to the side and to the inside of the legs. Reform your ball as you arise to stand and continue to flow. One more time, the hands sweep over. And as your hands are flowing, bring your attention to the center of your palms. Hands sweep around to the lower back and then down the back of the legs, only as far as is comfortable. And as you rise, reform your ball and pause for a moment. We're going to reverse directions, doing the same thing, starting with the hands flowing up the front of the legs. Let your hands flow all the way above. Turn the palms to prop the heavens. Reform your ball. And continue. This time to the inside of the legs. Out to the sides and then up the center. Palms prop the heavens. Reform your ball. And last time, hands sweep around to the back of the legs. Flow up to the lower back, around to the front of the torso. And prop. And reform your ball. Now let your fingers reach forward, palms face down. And you're going to take your right hand and you're going to open it to the back. Turn and look to that palm. Let your hand wash up and over your head, your neck, your shoulder, all the way down the top of your arm. And then the other side, the front hand's facing down, the back hand is facing up. And let that hand flow up, over, and down. Clearing out the rivers. One more time on this side, but this time, release the hand low. Let it pass the belt line, come up the side of the body, under the armpit, under the arm, all the way to the fingertips, and then open. And release. Sweeping low. And as your hand sweeps out past the fingers, reform your ball. Let your fall be nice and expansive. Take an inhale, let it get nice and big. And exhale, you're gonna guide all of this beautiful, vital life force into your lower dantian. This is 2 inches below your belly button. This is your energy storehouse for vitality. It boosts your immune system. And rather than feeling depleted, feel your rivers fluid, vibrant, open, and luminous. And let your hands release, relax by your side. Inhale, palms unite overhead. Exhale, let your thumbs brush the front of your face, guiding more of your divine light into your heart space. As your hands arrive at your heart, gently bow your chin to your heart in deep gratitude. Take a full breath in. Open your palms as you exhale, letting go of anything that wasn't washed away. Feel yourself cleansed, purified, and protected by your warrior shield, your expansive, luminous field.
Thank you. Wow, time flies when you're having fun.
Okay, so exact timing, and we also want to just take a moment to feel that practice settle. And as you're kind of feeling that, I want to say that Ray and I love sharing this work through workshops like this and through other series and such, where we really pour our heart and soul into our teaching. Begins next weekend in our 9-month training. And in this training, we balance healing tools with healing, how to cultivate your energy. And we started to kind of touch on that today. And I just want to say, if you're feeling called to deepen your understanding of what we were discussing today, the training may be a good fit for you. That may be the next step for you on your journey. And if you're not sure, just reach out to us.
You're not sure, come tomorrow.
Oh yeah, we have tomorrow.
I'm saying, what it means to be a shaman in the modern world. I won't unfold, I'll honor everyone's time, but I think it's that what it means to assume my full responsibility and really kind of like come to the place of practicing and being in the optimal state that I can be in. And I think that's all of life. Being a shaman means nothing more than that, to be like, be mindful and heartful of always making sure you're at the optimal state, because guess what? This is our life. For all we know, this specific life, it's only one of them. Maybe we come back again, but maybe I won't come back as Ray. So I want to be optimally and fully here, right? And I think that's what a shaman means, and also a person that keeps their heart open and is healing. Even like Panduro, he kept his heart open. He was just saying, he was just mentioning a fact that he doesn't buy into his emotions. His heart was wide open. Mind open, closed, 10 times in the meantime. So may your heart be open today. May you enjoy the day with a wide open heart.
Yes, thank you so much. And just a quick response, this is recording. Yes, you can watch it later. You need there's zero prerequisites for our training, just an open mind and a positive attitude. So if you're new to this, yes, you can register. I'm pointing to the question. Yes.
Especially when you're working with women in recovery, especially when you're working
all of you.
As a nurse, people that are already here. We have doctors and therapists and nurses and
life
yoga
coaches
teachers, life coaches.
Yes,
this is what it's all
human
about.
beings. We are a human family, and we are honored that you share this sacred time with us. So thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Beautiful, beautiful Saturday.
And we'll see many of you tomorrow. Mwah. So much love.
Love to all.
Lots of love. Bye.